request road maintenance on New Ranchitos Road at Hamilton residents.
Good morning.
Fine, thank you.
Last time we were here, y'all tabled it because there was a dispute between Mariah Court and New Ranchitos. We figured out that it is New Ranchitos Road. That is in question about being graded.
Leonard, where'd you go?
Right here.
Do you want to come up and just kind of update Lonnie since he wasn't here last meeting?
It's 885 New Ranchito Road. It's right there next, right behind the Flying J Feed Store there in McIntosh. It goes between AO 76, continues on to New Ranchito Road. It's just a half a mile of road right there that ends, and then we turn and go back east on it, and we don't continue across to AO 76. The road's been in question now for about 3 years that I've met about the road in the area, that because it's not being bladed at all. The homeowner association, I don't know if there's one or not one, but they haven't taken care of it. It's kind of impassable anymore, getting pretty bad. He just wants to see if we can continue through it, finish it. You know, actually, I don't know why the road ever was, it's way before my time, why it would stop where it did. I mean, the road does continue right to the next county road, but they ended making it a half mile short.
Is it a county road?
It's a county easement, but not a county maintained road.
This is what's in question right now. This isn't being graded, but our graders are coming here, stopping, having to go back out to 41, come down 41, come up, and then continue on. So we would actually be saving as the county to be able to just drop the blade and continue through, because it's 0.45 miles.
Does the subgrade that's there now, does it meet county specs?
Huh?
The subgrade that is there now, does it meet county specs?
No, there is no material at all on that road.
No material at all?
It's just dirt, just an old, must have been, I mean, probably years ago, they probably had put material, but now it's just like a cow trail that just got real wide.
Yeah.
It's like 60 feet wide right now, and there's roads everywhere. There's no drainage on it, I mean, there's no culverts.
Problem that we're having with it is, if I can walk up, I can show you this picture. This is in April of that road. It turned into a mud ball. And, you know, last time I was here, I made a mistake and told Mr. Mariah Ford. It's about a half a mile road, and all we're asking the county to do is lay it smooth where we can at least drive on it. Like I said, last time I was here, my wife went down, and I called an ambulance from there, and it took them 45 minutes because of this. This is the road condition, and it's just horrible. Like I said, Officer Heath White's been through there, he knows what it is, and basically it's maintenance on it, because if the county has to go through there, and they're in a patrol car or some kind of vehicle, they're gonna rip the bottom of it off completely. I mean, I've already ripped the oil pan out of the car, torn up several other ones just trying to get home.
Adolfo, if we begin maintenance of this road, do we then accept responsibility of it?
Potentially, yes. I think if the county's going to maintain it, in my opinion, it probably makes sense for it to be dedicated to the county, and then for the county to decide whether or not to accept it, and then decide once it's accepted as a county road, then assume the maintenance of it.
Well, like I said, the main thing is there's a lot of elderly people that live behind on Mariah Court and the other residents in that area. And like I said, it took 45 minutes for a paramedic to show up to get my wife. In January, it took them an hour to show up to my house where my mother-in-law did pass away on the living room floor waiting on paramedics. So it's just you know, it's not that big of a road, like when it's been down, I've been down, it's about a half mile of road, and I believe the Madam Chairman here has been through there too, and it's just getting really, really terrible.
So Adolfo, then would we go ahead and have them petition to then have the road put back on, or have the road put back on our maps? Or can we just agree that, you know, the road guys would just drop the blade and pass through, because it is benefiting us to not have to go all the way back around to continue through?
Madam Chair, the act of beginning to blade it could open up some liability issues in terms of the operation of county equipment, and however the road is left, if it doesn't meet county standards, may cause some liability issues. That's why I mentioned the possibility of having the landowners dedicate that portion of land to the county, and if the county decides to accept it, then accept the maintenance responsibilities for that land. To do it the other way may open up some potential liability from my perspective.
How many homes are only accessible by this road?
There's probably, well, I should have mapped.
About 10.
There's about
About
10
10
on the
homes.
right, so on the right corner, there's probably 5 or 6 on the next block. And what it is it used to, I guess it was a subdivision one time, and there's 5 houses on, like, each turn off, there's like 5 or 6 houses that go into that area. And, you know, the thing is, it's just getting to the point now that people are driving on other people's private property to get off that road where they don't hit that fucking road, they'll drive right along the fence lines. And, you know, the gentleman I talked to earlier, or last week, said that is considered a line road that belongs to the county. He's here somewhere. But he explained to me that is considered a line road of the county. So, you know, it's...
I'm not sure what it means by line road.
This is a section line.
It's a section line. So it's an easement. It's not a road, it's an easement. So we have on every section line. You see, that's kind of the problem I had is that, you know, if we do this one, I mean, I'm not against doing it, but if we do this one, then we're going to open up a can of worms. Why don't we do the next one? And I know several roads that you're not the Lone Ranger on this road, that when we do have the moisture, we have the snow, that the roads tear up quite a bit, you know, to it. Subdivisions are responsible to bring the roads up to county standards before we even take over the road.
Okay, what do you mean bring it up to county standards?
It would have to have the width, the base material on it. It would have to have the drainage, the culverts. It would have to have everything in line before the county could accept. And I believe we have that, do we not, in the planning and zoning rules, that before we adopt a road, before we take it in, that this road has to be up to the standards, or else, as our attorney has said, we would assume the liability, and then we would be out the expenditure to bring it up to standard. And at that, then we would have to basically do all of the roads. And believe me, sir, there are a tremendous amount of roads that are not county that suffer the same things that you guys are suffering right now.
We have, Madam Chair and Commissioner, when we took Cassandra on, we started basic maintenance of it with an agreement that the landowners out there would buy the material to put on the road. And that was what we did with them. And that's the report was that they just come up with the funds to put material on the last part.
And we've done that, and I've suggested that, is that we have a partnership that you could get with the road department, and they could tell you what it would take to bring that up. We have a subdivision, as our county manager said, that they're providing all of the material, and as they get the material, then we are helping process the material. Is that correct, Leonard?
Yes.
And it's more of a partnership that the commission prior to us has started. And I would be willing to support you on that. And Leonard or Martini, the one, could let you know what it would take, to bring it up to those standards.
So basically, it'd be up to the residents to bring that road up to code before the county could maintain it.
We would work in partnership with you.
Well, the thing, last time I was here, I asked them if they could use even graded, that me and the neighborhood would probably go ahead and go forth and spend money and have the rock and stuff put on it. But right now, there's chug holes in there that bury a Volkswagen. I mean, if you put rock on something like that, it's all gonna be one spot, and then the rest of the road's gonna suffer. That's why we're asking the county to go ahead and blade it out and put the trenches that need to be on there, and the community will take care of the rock on the top. We'll do our part by putting the rock or whatever, but we'd like to have it somewhat straightened out before we do that, because like I said, there's potholes in there as big as that table, and all the rock would go in one hole, and then the rest of the road would suffer.
Leonard, could I ask you to take a look at it and come up with some figures what it would take?
Yeah, that's fine.
And try to base it on what we've done with Cassandra. And if we've helped them with their subgrade, with the rock or whatever, I think when we're working with the community in a partnership, I think we can work it out. I just don't believe that we could accept the responsibility without accepting the responsibility of multiple roads.
Okay, well, like I say, the main thing is we're trying to get it somewhat where it can be leveled out, where we can maintain the road and put the rock down and the necessary accessories that need to be put on the road.
Yes, sir.
So, it's just, none of us have big enough equipment to level out that road.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's gonna take a boy to do it, you can't go there and push lawnmower and straighten out that road, there's just no way.
But I think, I'm sorry, but I think that what Commissioner Freiberger is suggesting is that if the landowners can come up with the material, then the road department, if the commission took action on it, could go out and place the material, shape the road and place the material for you.
Okay, but what I'm asking them to do is shape the road, then let us place the material, because like I said, there's holes in there. If you go out there with a flat big trailer, nobody's gonna deliver out there with those big chug holes in the trucks, because all the rock's gonna go into one hole. So if we could get it somewhat straightened out, then it'd be up to the community to go ahead and put the rock and whatever else on top of it. That I don't have a problem. But when you got a hole as big as this room in the middle of the road and you're trying to lay gravel across a flat surface, you're gonna have spots that are 15 feet deep and some that have no gravel at all.
I think what I would ask for is that a commitment be made by the landowners there to where if the rock had been purchased, if the rock was ready to go, then I believe that we could work something where we could help you lay it out.
Okay,
Rock could be stockpiled or anything, but we'd have to know that the commitment was there from the landowners.
Okay, so basically get a assignment from the landowners stating, okay, we'll pay to maintain, to have the gravel delivered out if the county will lay the road.
Well, the way it works, the way it needs to work, if it's gonna work like this, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I explained, like I said, I've met with him
Several times.
now.
Yes.
And I've explained to him that we're looking at so many families on this road, and I've told him there's other roads that have twice as much families that we don't maintain that are just as bad. When we did Cassandra, the base was pretty much there already, wasn't bad, and the way it works on that one is, we don't go work on the roads until they purchase the gravel. Gravel is purchased, we haul the gravel in, so we prep the road before we get the gravel in.
And that's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish, is we've got to have that commitment.
So if 5 of us get together and we purchase the amount of gravel that's needed for that road, then we call you all and say, okay, we got this gravel here, y'all can come out and do your thing, and like Leonard said, he can go to the rock quarry, we can purchase it, and I guess the county can bring it out and lay it whatever they want to do. Is that what I'm understanding?
I believe so, is that,
That's feasible with us, I mean,
yes,
And I can get, like I said, I can get the figures for you, but the rest of the commission to show you what it will cost to get that one brought up.
I think more than that, you might, get the figures to us and also, to the landowners, because it's actually, quite expensive just for a half a mile.
yeah.
It's very expensive.
You know, it's like I've told him many times that I've met with hard to accept roads because we don't have money to maintain the roads we have
No.
now, and we keep adding mileage to it or changing. I know there's some stuff we've talked about, some roads that we need to work on, but that's another thing we need to talk about and work on that. And
Okay.
you're accepting a road with 10 families whenever we have roads that I don't have 400 or 500 families. That's why I had to come to you guys, so you guys can make a decision on it, because that's not my decision to make.
Well, that's where I'm at this point, Madam Chair.
Well, and for me, I mean,
Our team needs to,
it would make sense that we would consider doing it only because it was going to save the road guys from having to go back out and come back in. But then once again, we have to come back to that and look at the legalities of it and the bucket of worms that we would be finding if we just went ahead and accepted that road and made it a little easier for our road guys. So, at this point, I'm okay with, I don't know, Adolfo, I mean, is this stuff that we need to put, because I know that I've had conversations with Leonard, we, every year, let go of road, people come and ask for their road to be closed and to be approved, so we have those miles that are taken off our log, but we don't ever put them back. Is there something that then we can start to work on as a process to then, if, the people want to come in, the roads are up to spec, and we can go ahead and adopt those, take the mileage that we've taken off the year prior, whatever, and put them back on?
There is a process of accepting roads that are dedicated to the county and then accepting them as county roads for maintenance purposes. So I guess it would be an internal process to decide what the overall mileage is and what can be had. But those wouldn't necessarily be legal questions because there is a legal process by which
Right.
a road could be adopted. I would say, one other option to just to provide to the commission, Madam Chair, is that given the information that's on the section line, there are additional legal approaches that the county could take when basically the county could declare a section line a county road. That's the statute that authorizes the county commission to take that kind of action.
So Leonard, I mean, do we have, if we're gonna do this, we wanna do it right and use this as a template, an example of if somebody does come before us wanting us to then, we can say, this is the process.
Well, there is to a certain point, because, if we're gonna start to look at doing something like this, like I've talked times to separately, is I really think it would be up to them to bring it up to county specs. It shouldn't be up to us to go in there and build it. Well, that should be their job to get it where we need it. Then we just take over it from there if they think it's feasible for us to accept it.
is Cassandra our road?
Yes,
Okay, so it was already our road. Okay.
that's all.
Well, like I said, what we're asking the county to do is at least give us some kind of flat level base so we can work on the road. Because right now, it's always bumpy, and basically what we're asking the county to do is next time they grade the road, blade it down, so somewhat smooth it out, so we can have access to a truck to come out and lay gravel on it. Because right now, if you have a belly dump or an end dump come out there to run that road, to drop the gravel, they will not run that road. They won't refuse it. That is a danger, and once you start lifting the bed of a 53-foot trailer, and you start getting on a real lumpy road, they will refuse it. It's too dangerous to dump that gravel. That's why last time we were here, we're asking if they could just go ahead and ditch the sides and bring all the dirt up and make it a flat surface. Then we will, as a community, spend the money to have the gravel delivered out or whatever, and have it brought up to county specs. But right now, we're dealing with a 10-foot pit in the middle of the road that is practically impossible. So as far as the question of, well, if other communities say this, then I agree with him, that we can say, okay, it was a community agreement with the county that if they come out and work with us and level the road out, then we'll maintain the gravel on top of it. Is basically what we're asking of.
Madam Chair, if the commission doesn't accept the road, we can't blade it. It's not ours to blade. And it's an anti-donation issue.
mean, you're wanting us to take it on, that when we go out and we blade all of our roads, that would be one of them?
No, what we're asking y'all to do for the time being is next time they go out there and blade it and put the ditches along the sides like they need to be. And then as a community, the neighbors, the mobile homes and everything else that live out there, we will put forth money and spend it on the gravel and have it delivered, scattered, and whatever. And then Leonard can come out a couple of days later and say, okay, this is brought up to county specs, then possibly have it graded from there forward.
Leonard, why don't you get us a price on what it's gonna cost?
Okay, I can do that. Like I said, we can't even go and blade it right now because
Right.
since they're doing private work.
Right.
We just don't do that.
Yeah, we can't go out and,
Okay.
We can't even give you a subgrade until, and my suggestion would be that, I know you're talking about the other landowners, of maybe hiring a private contractor to bring it up to grade, to where you can start putting out on there. You take it a step at a time. But at this point, as your county manager and attorney have pointed out, we cannot work on private property, and basically that's what it is.
How would we consider private property when it's a land road, a line road?
It's a road into your subdivision, owned by the subdivision.
No, it's a road that runs beside the subdivision, not
But
into
but
it.
No,
it
sir.
can't, it's not a county road, so
Okay.
we can't go on to something that's not designated county. We can't take our equipment and our men onto that road, because that's a violation of the anti-donation clause.
Okay, so basically what do we need to do to get this in motion where we can get this up far?
You would have to hire a private contractor. The subdivision would have to hire a private contractor to bring that road. You may talk to whoever put in the subdivision and see if they can help, with it, and the other landowners.
All right. Well, thank you.
So at this, Madam Chair, do we need to make a motion to deny?
We can just take no action on the item.
Okay.
so, item, or letter B, there'll just be no action